hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. It is June the 30th. It is June the 30th, which at the end of the day means tomorrow. Tomorrow is the big day when Arsenal should be going to the promised land. Arsenal should be doing what everyone is promising us. July 1st. The magic is about to happen. There are talks that starting from July 1st, Arsenal will be massive in the market. The war chest will be unleashed, the one that we haven't unleashed since 2011, since it got promised for the first time. And everything literally is all over the place. Nothing has been announced as of yet officially. Arteta wants to sign striker by July 18th, a day before we fly out to Singapore. So we have basically a bit more than 2 weeks to do anything. Now, have we ever seen Arsenal move this quickly? No, we haven't. So that is a big issue, I'm not going to lie. But if Arsenal are willing to change that, I'm all for it. I'm not going to lie, I am all for it because it looks like Arsenal want to begin the preseason with their main characters being into the team, the big signings like, your Eze's, Sesco's, maybe Rodrigo and players like that. We're going to get Zubimendi by the looks of things. He's going to be unveiled tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whatever. Same goes with Kepa, same goes with Norgard. And of course, we are still waiting of the Valencia Mosquito, aka Mosquera. So we have made some smaller signings. Let's just put it that way. We have made some smaller signings in terms of Norgard, in terms of Kepa. It looks like it also could be Mosquera potentially. We have made some, you could argue, a bigger signing in terms of Zubimendi. But as Fabrizio Romano said, Arsenal want to make more deals, bigger deals. And as Arteta says, Josh says all the time, every single summer window, the best is yet to come. Will this be the summer when finally the best will come? That is the biggest question. That is the biggest question we will going to seek answer to today. There are some transfer rumors that are happening on occasion all over the place regarding Martinelli, regarding other players. But overall today, the big question, the big thing that we're going to talk about is the fact that Arsenal should be doing business, and Arsenal should be doing big business, if you can believe the reports. So if you're excited for the stream, smash the like button if you haven't already. Please subscribe if you're new around here. Still aiming for that big 1K before the season kicks off, and we are a month and a half away pretty much. And of course, drop your thoughts down in the live chat so we can tackle them, we can discuss them, and we can go from there. So big up everyone who is here. Big up coach. Long time no see, my man. Long time no see. Hope everything is going well with you. Hope you are in a good mindset in terms of Arsenal. Hope you're feeling optimistic because so far it's been a roller coaster ride and there is, not gonna lie, not too much to be excited about. Let's just put it that way because we haven't done nothing to get us overly excited. Let's just say it as it is. So let me know how you feel. Let me know how everyone's feeling, how you're doing today. But yeah, Arsenal's chance of business so far this summer, how to say, I don't want to say it's been poor, but it's definitely been somewhat disappointing. Let's just put it that way, because obviously everyone expected big things instantly given the situation. But then again, July 1st, new calendar year for the checkbooks and all this stuff, PSR, FFP, every single three-letter abbreviation you can imagine got hit into the mix. So just so there will be excuses. So that basically means that starting tomorrow, we should be getting signings left, right, and center. We will announce 3 signings. We should announce another one at some point, potentially in Mosquera. And of course, then there's the big question. Who Arsenal are going to sign a striker? Will Arsenal sign a striker? Will Arsenal sign a left winger? Will Arsenal sign a number 10 backup for Bukayo Saka? Will Arsenal do any of those things? Because in recent reports, as I was reading just before I went live, was the fact that Martinelli looks like he's going to stay. There were talks that maybe Al Nassr, Ronaldo's team, Cristiano Ronaldo's team, were interested in him potentially, stuff like that. But nothing has materialized for it. There also have, today at least, the talks have come out and reports are suggesting that Arsenal have no intention in selling Martinelli. They are willing to keep him, which is quite interesting if you ask me, overall. And it's basically saying that every player in the squad might have their price. obviously, potentially even one that one of the world's richest clubs could afford. But there is no internal pressure at the moment for Arsenal and from Arsenal to actually go and sell Gabriel Martinelli. Bayern Munich are admirers of the player, apparently. Same goes for Al Nasser. They also have talked about him basically internally, apparently, but not preparing any offer as of now. That is the big thing because Arsenal definitely need a left winger, I would say personally, because Trossard and Martinelli are not going to cut it. In my opinion, the well has gone dry in that regard, in that position, and we definitely need improvements. And to be honest, our left side has been screwed up more or less, or even quite a bit as it is right now, for quite a few years. I'm not gonna lie, for a few years, and it's a big worry. It's genuinely a big worry, especially since Mikel Arteta, since 22-23 season, when he after it when he changed the playing style, our left side has gone, you could argue, anonymous to some extent. So that is the big question, what we are going to do in that regard, what we're going to do to improve on that. All is good, took a break from football. Totally understandable, and I commend you for it. Not gonna lie. Watching tennis, cricket, Wimbledon is it kicking off today or tomorrow, isn't it? So definitely you will. I 100% guarantee. I can tell you that you're gonna follow that. I think Arsenal is cooking with all these offers. I expect good players to come in. Define good players. We're definitely gonna buy a proper striker. If that is Sesko, it's not a proper striker. If we talk Gyökeres and Osimhen, player like that, I can definitely agree upon. Let's not forget Arsenal have been second 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row second. What does that give us? Who cares who finished second in the league? In Champions League? Nobody remembers the second place ever. Deadly defense unit. So what? We have no attack. 800 and what? How many? 814 million spent and only 85 million. 10% of that has gone to attack over 5.5 years. That is embarrassing. That is pathetic for a team that was well known for having quite dangerous attacks over the years. Let's be real. We don't need much to go further. We got Saliba, Timber, Saka, Gabriel, Skelly, Raya, our spine. Yeah, you say that. I totally get it. I totally get that you say that. But let's not forget, Timber, he's coming back. He was playing injured throughout the end part of the season when he was playing. So how he's going to come back, nobody knows. Saka is coming back from a grade 3 ACL after surgery. We don't know how he's going to come back. Gabriel is coming back from grade 3 ACL, and nobody knows how he's going to look after that surgery. Because remember what happened at Van Dijk, that one season, till he kicked into gear for the next season, he was genuinely a laughingstock to some extent. People are bantering him. They said that the Van Dijk is done. Many players have basically lost their careers just because of grade 3 ACLs, just one. It doesn't take a lot. So yeah, Skelly, we will have to wait and see what's going to happen with that. Will he be a left back? Will he be a midfielder? Because for me, he should be a midfielder, but he looks like he's going to be a left back. Raya, okay, cool. You could say we have our spine, but spine is not enough. The spine is not enough. For me, spine means 2 center backs, goalkeeper, number 6, a striker. That is my spine, straight through the middle of the team. And now our spine of the team is genuinely not there. It's a big worry. Big up, AJ. Hope you're doing well. I am so tired. I get it. I am as well. I'm not going to lie. I am as well. 824 million pounds spent. And still no attackers, still no strikers, still no forwards, definitely. My point is we don't need much. We just need 3 proper signings. 3 proper signings. For me, that's Gyökeres, Rodrigo, and Eze, for example. That's already like, let's just say 85, 90. Gyökeres about 70. That's 160. Eze another 60. You can pay that in installments at least, 3 times 20. So that's 200 million. Will Arsenal spend that? Will they sign that? That's the biggest thing. Based on our previous track record, I don't trust this one bit. Because mostly when we sign big players during summers, we tend to do just one. We sign one Ozil. We sign one Alexis. In winter, yes, but we sign one Aubameyang. Like, we just sign them in once. We don't do multiple players. We don't do that. That is the biggest thing. Simple query, if Arteta doesn't win anything next season, would you sack him? I would definitely sack him, and no doubt. I see AJ. See, people are getting sense of that. Saka, Timber, Gabriel fight might be finished. If they are, then what? Yeah, that is the biggest thing. Nobody knows how they're gonna look once they come back. People expect to see the same Bukayo Saka. People expect to see same Gabriel Magalhaes, same Timber, players like that. But ultimately, we don't know. I don't expect that. I genuinely don't expect that, because if it happens, okay, cool. That is great for Arsenal. That is great for our team. That is great for our season. You can say that. But given the situation, what they are in, it's definitely not a good thing. Timber already came back before strong. Yeah, but how long will it last? How long is that going to last until he basically breaks in half? Until he becomes another Tomiyasu? Because at some point his body is gonna give up. He's not Iron Man. He's not like Wolverine who heals in few seconds and he's good to go once again. These injuries leave a dent into players' health. They leave a dent into players' long-lasting career even. And we don't know what's going to happen, because if he tears another ACL, you might as well say he's done. You genuinely might as well say he's done. Calafiori and Kivior and Mosquera for cover. Again, same thing. Calafiori for cover. I don't want to see Calafiori as a left back. Defensively, he is a liability for me. Going forwards, yes, great. If we played 5 at the back, for example, and he was a left wing back, he would be fantastic in my opinion. If we played also 5 at the back and he was left-sided center back, I think Calafiori actually would be quite good. But as a left back, he is a liability. We saw that last season. And let's be real, his injury track record also is nothing great. Same thing goes there. Kivior, he had a good spell. I'm not gonna lie, Kivior had a very, very good spell when Gabriel went out. There are questions whether he can continue that or not, because he wants proper game time. We cannot guarantee him that, let's be real. That is the biggest question. That is the biggest question. And Mosquera hasn't even been signed. Will we sign him or not remains to be seen. Mosquera predominantly plays left-sided center back, or even basically he plays both center back spots, right, for Valencia, but he also plays as a right back. So basically we have signed Tomiyasu to some extent, because Tomiyasu, I have no faith in Tomiyasu whatsoever. He's going to come back in December and he's going to be gone in January. I would at least assume so. And that is also a big issue. All three, yeah, they are not good enough. Genuinely not good enough. Big up Beggy. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well today. Big up Drake. Hello, be patient. We're going to have a good week next week. Be patient, you know. Be patient. Looking what other teams are doing around us. Given the fact that we haven't won Premier League in 21 years, FA Cup in 5.5, Carabao Cup in 32, and the less than said about Champions League, the better. Like, there is no time for patience. Whenever Arsenal had a window of opportunity to go and win stuff, we haven't done it. Let's be real. The Leicester season, 2 seasons before, 3 seasons before, we had chances. We have had chances. And of course, in great Arsenal fashion, we always manage to shoot ourselves in the foot somehow and screw it all up. This season as well, it was prime example when we played against 10-Man United. We couldn't even beat them. Like, that is embarrassment on its own. We need 4. Rodrigo, Gyökeres, Eze, and a right wing. Otherwise, the season is done. Yeah, we definitely need a striker and a left winger. If we sign another left winger, I'm a strong believer in the fact that one of the left wingers are going to go to the right. I can see that happening. The question marks are still about Reece Nelson, but let's be real, he's not good enough. Question marks about Vanieri, whether he's going to be a 10 or a right winger. Also question marks, we don't know. So you could argue there is cover, but until we see how preseason unfolds, who goes into preseason, do we have all the players, what's going to happen? Though there are big question marks. And let's be real as well, like Declan Rice as well last season. As good as he was in many games, he also played through injury, which people find an excuse that he is going to get better. But what's going to happen if he gets injured? Again, we have issues there. What happens if Zubimendi and Declan Rice both get injured? We're going to play Norgard and Lokonga in the midfield, Norgard and Merino? Like the backups, again, the same issue still persists, still stands to this day. The drop off from starting 11 to bench in specific positions is as wide as the Grand Canyon, basically. And when you look against teams we are competing, like City and Liverpool, their bench compared to our bench, there is no match. They have better bench, deeper bench even. Liverpool and City even managed their youth system properly to integrate into the team. Whilst Mikel Arteta still last season, despite the fact that Ranieri showed that he actually can do things, still persisted with playing Raheem Sterling and and to some extent didn't even give Ranieri enough minutes. Like there are lots and lots of variables, unfortunately. And the issue with Arsenal is at the moment, they don't answer questions, literally and figuratively. They raise more questions than they give answers. And the fact that we didn't extend Partey's contract, for example, and we signed Norgard instead, for me is a worry. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not so sure people realize that our midfield is gonna lose quite a bit when Thomas Partey is not gonna be there. Yes, maybe going forward we will have better passing, better control, but defensively it might get ropey. In my opinion, it genuinely might get very, 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 very ropey. Norgard, Zubimendi are coming. Yeah, but Zubimendi I can get behind, pause, and everything. We will have to wait and see. Norgard, I'm still not convinced. Now, there is no way we will spend 200 million. Exactly. But for Arsenal, we need to. That is the sad part. You would think that we have spent 824 million, I think AJ said it was. 824 million, something like that. Yeah, 824 million. We would at least put a decent chunk of that money towards forwards. But we have not. That is the biggest issue. We have spent over 400 million on midfield, about 300 on defense and goalkeepers, and only 85 on attack. 85 million over 5 years on attack. We haven't signed a striker since Aubameyang left. Oh, but we have Jesus. He's not a striker. He said himself scoring goals is not his forte. He is injured all the time. He is more of a winger than a striker. Havertz, don't make me laugh. Merino, that's even bigger embarrassment, even though he has done better at striker than Kai Havertz. And that's about it. Butler Oyedeji didn't even get a proper kick of the ball for us. We let go of Mika Bireth. We let go of Forlan Balogun. We extended Nketiah's contract, who now we sold. On paper, sounds like a good deal of business, but Nketiah has won now an FA Cup with Matt Turner together at Crystal Palace, while Arsenal sit trophyless another season, 5th season in a row. Like, that is not how a big, proper team should be acting. And especially when you look around at Liverpool, they just won the league. They have signed players to win league again, to go for Champions League. They're looking to sell Darwin Nunez. They're going to sell some other players like Kwanzaa. It looks like they might sell a few more. Robo, maybe. And players like that. They will basically break even on the signings they have already made, which means then they can inject their own money into transfer window. And if they manage to get Gyökeres, Isak even, for some weird goddamn reason, somehow it happens, we are done. The league is done. We cannot compete with that. Let's be real. Rest will soon follow, dude. The false hope, like, White is going to be there to rotate with Simba. Like, Ben White also, it's a shadow of himself after the injuries. He also didn't look great. We'll see. We genuinely will see. Ben White is also one of those people who is there just for the paycheck at the end of the day. He said himself he doesn't watch football outside of Arsenal. He watches the game, say, before the game. He trains. He does his thing. It's basically like a simple job for him. He's not like he's bleeding football like other players who genuinely watch the tapes. They sit and they themselves scout the situations. That is a big issue here. Norgard is not good enough. Zubimendi might not be good. Zubimendi is the big question mark. Norgard, it is a rough one. Simple question: Arteta doesn't win anything. Anything that next season, would you sack him? Big questions. Big questions. Big up Hendon. Big up Hendon. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope you're doing well, feeling great today as well. Like and subscribe, people, if you haven't already. Do me that favor. It takes a second. Helps the stream out a lot. If you have a second and you're willing to do it, please do it and everything. That doesn't make good enough. Race Drake, the last 5 years prove that what's wrong. Yeah, I get it. Big up BX Gunner. Big up BX Gunner. Hope you're doing well today, my guys. Well, we've seen more than enough. We have 5 years after all this money and winning nothing. Like, come on. Which big team gives any manager, first things first, a novice 5 years, a novice 800 plus million, and a novice such a long time? 15 million a year for this guy, and he has nothing to show for it. You would think that he gets 15 million a year because he would show success. He would show the silverware, the trophies. But he has nothing to show for it besides light bulbs, squeezed lemons, and stuff like that. Other teams need to buy a lot. We need quality. We already have a strong team. We just need to sprinkle Stardust. Now, again, here we go with the gold dust and all this stuff. It's always like that. It's been like that for years, and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. When we have had good attack, our defense was shambles. When we fix defense, our attack then is shambles. While we are fixing attack afterwards, our midfield becomes shambles. And it's always in a roundabout. You go in a circle, same 3 pit stops, just pick and choose in which sequence they just move around. Same things, nothing changes. Believing in Arteta is like believing in the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny. Good vibes aren't good enough. Yeah, good vibes are not good enough. Let's be real. And if you look, like, my 6-year-old believes in Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, and all this stuff. He's happy, right? Because he doesn't know better, because he's not a grown-up, right? And that's what it feels like with Arsenal. They believe in something they cannot see, and that basically hasn't become true. And they're not waking up to it. The years go by, money gets spent, have nothing to show for it, no success, no nothing, and then bang. We start all over again. It doesn't work like that. Arteta is a really good manager. We just have to stay injury-free. We just have to stay injury-free. So how about last season, when we had almost no injuries whatsoever, and we still did not win the league? What's the excuse then? Oh, PGMOL, oh, referees, oh, this, and oh, that. Oh, Man City were better. Yes, they were better, but let's not forget Arsenal screwed it up themselves. 1-7 in December. Game against Aston Villa at home, somehow for goddamn who knows reason, Havertz plays in midfield. We lose 2-0. We draw to 10-man Fulham at the Emirates, when we play Partey as a right back. Gabriel is benched because of Saudi interest or whatever. Then we go away, then we lose to Fulham and everything. We lose 2 years in a row to West Ham at home. When it's gonna stop? Oh, but we have good record against the Big Six. So what? What does the Big Six record mean to us if we basically screw it up against the small teams? Because that is Arsenal's DNA. We have done it under Wenger, we did it under Emery, and we have done it under Arteta as well. Against the big teams, we actually show up. Against small teams, what the hell is going on? Because there's always your Southampton, Bournemouth, West Ham, Everton, Burnley, teams like that manage to get one over us. So at the end of the season, people look at it and say, well, it was a good season. We finished second. But let's not forget, if we actually played the game, if we didn't screw it up at some stages during the season, we would have won the league. Here we finished 1 point behind City. If we don't draw against 10-man Fulham and Arteta doesn't screw it up, we win the league. If we don't go 1-7 in December, because Kai Havertz was an experiment to play in the midfield for some goddamn reason, and why was he signed in the first place, for fuck's sake, I have also no idea, we most likely win the league. 65 million on Kai Havertz. You want to tell me we could not bought a striker for that? A good striker, mind you. And that would have won us the league. The problem is trying to buy a bench player that earns 150k plus and is happy to sit on. We have a whole bench of that. We have a whole bench of that. What do you mean? Calafiori is 120, Merino is 130, Zinchenko is 150. We have those players on the bench. Trossard starts instead of Martinelli half the time now. Martinelli is on 180. He sits on the bench. We have those things. We genuinely have those things. If someone will say to Arteta, he will just say, trust the process. What process? Exactly. The process has failed. We need to start all over again. And now that is why I have this title for this stream. Will Arsenal finally have a big summer? Will they finally act like a big club? Because what the hell Arsenal are doing these days? It makes almost no sense whatsoever. I posted out this tweet today, right? And everything. And it basically, it got shared by views, big up views, by the way, right? And everything. I posted this tweet because that was regarding Eze signing. People were moaning about the fact that we have gone from Eze to Rodrigo, from Rodrigo to Eze. There is no certainty. Why people are moaning about this? A few weeks ago, you had your pants down for Rodrigo. Now that Rodrigo has gone a bit more quiet, even though some rumors persist, Eze is the flavor of the month now, flavor of the week. But how about you stop moaning about these things? How about you keep the club accountable for always doing the bare minimum to keeping top four? How about you go for the glory? Risk it for the biscuit. We never do that. We play it safe. Arteta plays it safe. We get some momentum during the game. We score a goal. Opposing team is on the back foot. What we do? Defender for defender substitutions. No attacking substitutions. Why? Because we have not any. Why? Because Mikel Arteta hasn't signed any. Together with Edu at the time, let's see what Andrea Berta does. But how about Arsenal actually act like a big club for a change? Sign Eze and Rodrigo. Don't pick and choose. Act like a big goddamn club for a change. Serious talk. Act like a big goddamn club for a change. Because we have this small club mentality somehow. Arsenal fans like to scream, we are one of the biggest teams in England and everything. We are the third biggest team in England. Yeah, we are. There's no argument about that. Why we are one of the third biggest team in England? Oh, because of trophies. The same trophies that some top gunners say are below us. Your Carabao Cups, FA Cups, and everything. Third biggest team in England, yet when we go for signings, we act like we are someone like Crystal Palace. No disrespect to Crystal Palace, by the way. They just won a trophy as well. We act like we are a small club. How comes we cannot do it over the line? What bench players will you buy that add quality and also be happy to sit on the bench? Name 4 players. So 4 bench players who will be happy sitting on that bench. First things first, we can look at right wingers, strikers, forwards. Let's go. Jonathan David. He wouldn't mind sitting behind Gyökeres if we signed him. Martinelli would not mind sitting behind the Rodrigo if we signed Rodrigo. Who else is there? Who we have in the midfield? Defense, everything. Let's just put it that way. Right wing. Everyone knows Saka is number 1. Let's be real. Semenyo, Bakayoko from PSV, they wouldn't mind sitting behind Bukayo Saka because they know he's the top, one of the top dogs. Well, at the moment, top dog at Arsenal. Same goes for midfield. Like, if Eze comes in, most likely he will play left wing. Arteta will force him to play left wing. But if he comes in, he will sit on the bench because Arteta has this weird fetish about Odegaard. Let's be real. He will be sitting on the bench. No argument about that. There's another one. Like, this can go on and on. That's not an excuse. Like, to be honest, for example, Man City, they have two full complete starting 11s, for example. They don't moan because they get rotated. They play a lot, actually. Same goes for Real Madrid. Their bench is very good, very strong. But they rotate as well. There are some players that play most of the games. Yeah, there's no argument about that. But they get rotated as well. Let's be real. It's all on manager. It's all on the manager to pick out the team. pick rotation, pick squad management, game management, game by game. Some smaller games put other players on the pitch. But there you have to put in at least players who you would be willing to sub on. But no, we don't have that. Second place is a big achievement. Second place is a big achievement. Seriously. People would kill for that. Oh my God. We are getting closer. Just need to stay injury-free. We got hungry, hard-working players. None of them have tasted victory. They don't know what it feels like. Losing in a final is 10 times more painful than losing in semi-final. Let's be real. If you have lost a final, you know the pain. That's a different kind of pain. It cuts deep. You can use that. Second is the big achievement. You want to tell me that for me, it will be a big achievement if there are 4 people at my work for promotion, me and 3 other guys, someone else gets promoted, and the supervisor will come up to me and say, well, we picked him, but you were a close second. Feel happy about it. Will I feel happy about it? Or will I feel disappointed? Come on, what are we doing here? This is genuinely defeatist mentality at the end of the day. This just shows that vibes are getting top 4 and that's about it. Because at the end of the day, that is what it is. The difference from Arsenal to Liverpool this season was embarrassing. Seriously, that was embarrassing. There were stages where the difference from Arsenal to Liverpool were the same difference from Arsenal to 10th place Bournemouth. And that was about game week 34, game week 35, something like that. Like, come on. And the difference was so small at the end of the season because they already were in Dubai partying. They didn't give a crap about the end of the season because Arsenal could do jack shit about it. Like, come on. He deserved to be sacked midway through last season. Other free hit season incoming. Watch. Yeah, let's be real. He should be sacked. This season, if the season starts poorly, peace out. Oh, but who you gonna get in? There are insane amount of managers you could get in if you pay the money. If you're willing to pay 15 million a year to Mikel Arteta, a kindergarten graduate who got a CEO position in a heartbeat, why you are not willing to pay 15 million to a proven winner, a proper manager? Why you're not willing to do that? Like, seriously, what is holding you up at the end of the day? Big up Valeria, big up. Sescan Rodrigo or Eze and Gyökeres, in your opinion? Ideally, Rodrigo, Eze, and Gyökeres. For me, that is the perfect opinion. I'm just going to put it that way. If I have to pick and choose between those two, I would take Eze and Gyökeres. Barca did give Pep a job at the time. He had no... So, let's look at this. He was a Barcelona B manager for a year, so he actually had some experience. Arteta had 0 experience. Only game Arteta was in charge for Man City, by the way, was in Champions League against Lyon because Pep's mom passed away, I think. And that was the game where Man City lost. First loss at home in Champions League for Man City in the last 4 or 5 years. That already showed everything. We finished second with so many injuries. Look at Postecoglou, couldn't manage the same with injuries also. Completely different play style, completely different players and circumstances. At least he won a Europa League. Arsenal barely got within a sniff of that. Cannot get even in those terms. Always, exactly. There's always holes in the team. Always. There haven't been a time where I am going into the season and thinking, the team is set. It's now or never. There has never been like that. Even in the beginning of last season, if you were here, right? I said this, right? I said this in the beginning of last season. The most confident part of the team, I feel, is about defense. because we have depth in there. Midfield was an iffy one because we missed about 1-2 players short. Attack was my biggest concern because Saka had no replacement. Havertz was still the striker. Jesus was still out. They had no replacements. And Martinelli and Trossard, well, that is basically a coin toss whether they're gonna be Stella Art Trossard and Gabi Smelly or they're gonna turn up. Fast forward to today. It's 1 year later, and it's still the same shit. It's genuinely same shit, different toilet. In this instance, same lack of depth, same lack of players, same lack of quality, just different year. Nothing has changed. Actually, coach, not wrong. He had worked at Barcelona B for a season or two. But yeah, that's the thing. Big 7 likes. Big up, people. Big up for the 7 likes. Big up to you all. If you haven't already, do me a favor. So like and subscribe. I agree with you, though. I'm not going to waste my energy saying it's over and over. We all know he ain't going anywhere realistically. Exactly. He has proven that. He's been 8 points clear, balled it. He's been chasing it and balled it again. Arguably one of the most important games against Aston Villa at home. We all were looking at that game and saying, if we beat Aston Villa at home, more chances than not we are winning the league. And that was the one game throughout the whole second part of the season he decided to play Kai Havertz in the midfield. Before that, he was playing striker. And we beat Crystal Palace 5-0. We beat West Ham 5-6-1, if my memory doesn't deceive me, 3-0 against Nottingham Forest and everything. One game, one decision, and it absolutely annihilated our whole season. What's true is every other team is also spending and improving, like Newcastle, Villa, Forest, Bournemouth. I don't pay no attention to 800 million stat, etc., because others are buying players too. Yeah, others are buying players too. But the difference is the expectations. The difference is expectations. From Arsenal, expectations minimum would be at least 1 trophy. Minimum expectations. And there is none of that. Genuinely none of that. Arsenal have turned into Liverpool about, I would say, 10 years ago, before Jurgen Klopp, under Brendan Rodgers and everything. Every single season, when the season began, Liverpool fans were, yes, here we go. This is our season. We're going to win everything. And ultimately, they fell short, and they were remembering the good old days. Arsenal now are in the same spot. This is our season. We're going to win this season. And again, we always fall short, and we remember the good old invincible days. Or we remember the FA Cup, or we remember under Wenger the FA Cup, and everything. It's the same stuff. Our team has developed well, not going to lie, but let's see, no trophy this year. He's got to go. He should have gone before. And to be honest, for me personally as well, after 6 years, by the way, in December 19th this year, even FA and Carabao Cup double is not enough. He needs to get majors, Premier League or Champions League. The thing is, we need a striker, left wing, left back, and center back. We can't get that with under 250 million. Let's just say this. 75 million for a striker, right? Let's just say 70 million for a striker. About, if we decide to sign Rodrigo, let's just say, right, that would be about 85. Eze, right, that is what? 60, right? That's 10, 60, 130, 210. Center back, 20 million, 230. And a left back, I would assume about 30, 40. That's 260, 270. And that is basically going for the lowest amount of money. You can take 20 off because you can pay in installments for Eze, but still it doesn't cut it. The question is the quality, no matter how you look at it. No matter how you look at it. Big up Eros, Mikel music in the building. Big up, people. Hit the likes and subscribe, people. Big up. Listen to Eros. He knows what he's doing. This manager is still using training wheels. We're wasting golden opportunity with a good core of players under this manager. True. The way I see this, Arsenal under Mikel Arteta currently are like Belgium in their prime under Roberto Martinez. Remember the Belgian team, they had like Hazard, Prime Lukaku, Prime KDB, Vertonghen, Eiderweireld, Courtois, all these guys. They had Prime Dembele and everything, Witzel and everything, right? They had prime players, and they always fell short, no matter in which competition they were in. Euros, World Cup, everything, right? And now if we fast forward, and if we compare it to Arsenal, we kind of are in the same boat, aren't we? We have players, very good players, a team that should be winning stuff, and we are just wasting the years. We are wasting their talent. And now with the injuries that Saka has had, Gabriel has had, what Timber is suffering through, and everything, God knows what's going to happen to them. What's going to happen when they come back? Robo, we know the deal. If it makes sense, Arsenal won't do it. Unfortunately, that is the deal with Arsenal. If it makes sense, Arteta is building backwards. We are regressing. We definitely have a Europa League squad now for the Champions League. I would say that's a bit of an understatement regarding Arsenal. That is undervaluing our team. However, it's very hard to disagree. Because remember, during the season when we were in Champions League, Arsenal were playing PSG. So one of you, I don't remember who it was, one of you said in the chat that PSG can walk Europa League with their eyes closed. And it stands to a point. They won Champions League, they play good football, they would do that. And then I reversed the question and thought, could Arsenal walk Europa League with their eyes closed? And then I got stumped. I genuinely paused for a second, and I started to look at the games against Shakhtar, against teams like that, where we struggle against Monaco, Olympiacos, Lens away, and all these teams. And I started to think, and I thought, I'm not too sure Arsenal actually can. I'm genuinely not too sure Arsenal actually could do it. That for me is also the big thing. And the worst part is tickets go up, prices go up, prices at the Emirates go up, everything goes up. Arsenal stay the same, if not worse. Oh no, Henry Gunnar, I feel for you, the honest hand in summer. Yeah, so I'm just stunned. I can't wait until it's over. Hang in there. He changed the trajectory of our club since he took over. 2 times 8th, 1 time 5th, ball the top 4, and 3 times 2nd. So basically, in 5.5 years, he has finished, 6 years, you can say, right? He has finished 3 years outside of top 4 and 3 times in the top 4. While Arsene Wenger, in 22 years, only finished twice in 22 years outside of top 4. Since you all top Gunners like to compare Wenger to Arteta for some weird goddamn fucking reason, I have no idea why. And to add on top of that, in Wenger's last 5 years, he won 3 FA Cups. No, 2 FA Cups. Arteta has done it once. I agree with you, though. I'm not going to waste my energy saying till I'm blue in the face. We all know he ain't going nowhere. I'm preserving my energy for the upcoming season, which is a lot in itself. Next season, it's going to be rough. I genuinely believe it will be rougher than people actually imagine. Genuinely. This window, like the last 20 or 30, is undeniably underwhelming. We see our rivals making real ambitious moves. Yeah. Liverpool already, they have made 4 fantastic moves. And they're going to make more. Don't kid yourself. They're going to make more. Isak, KDB, Sesko, Kevin De Bruyne. What? Sesko, Zubi, Baleba, Rodrigo, Eze. That's what will excite the fans all in one go, but will never happen. Well, KDB, I don't think so. Sesko also, for me, it's not exciting. But Isak, Zubimendi, Baleba, Rodrigo, Eze, that would be the case. Obviously, if you cannot get Isak, get Gyökeres. That is the big thing. Arteta gets no credit. Not in this chat. Well, he gets credit. I'm not going to lie. Arteta has done some good things with Arsenal. There's no denying it, right? But at the moment, he has turned into Arsenal's Brendan Rodgers or Roberto Martinez. Depends how you look at it. For me personally, he is Arsenal's Brendan Rodgers before Klopp comes in. Always close, but no cigar. Same goes with Roberto Martinez. He gets somewhat close, but always balls it, right? I think we need to get rid of Arteta and get a proper manager in. Second place is nothing but first loser, yeah. And you get nothing for it. Genuinely nothing. Nobody remembers you anyways. Arteta's credit expired 2 years ago. To some extent, I can see that. Big up Most Wanted. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Hope you're feeling great. I don't know what I said, but BX Gunner is having fun. Means Martinelli will leave for regular football. Martinelli is not going to leave, apparently. According to rumors and reports, Arsenal have no intention in selling him. I think I kind of believe that nobody is untouchable. Well, there are some untouchables in Arsenal, but if let's just say 60, 70 million offer came in for Martinelli, he would be gone. Otherwise, I don't think Arsenal are going to sell him whatsoever. Damn, if he was alive, I'd 15 million per year would bring Zidane in as manager. You could for 15 million, you can bring almost any manager. He's the fourth best paid manager in the world. Fourth. And if you look at the managers who have won endless trophies that are under him and get barely half of what he's getting, let's be real, there is no argument he could actually do. They could do the job. Rice literally said he ignored team orders against Real. Yeah, Rice said it himself. Arteta said, Jover said, whip in across. Rice said to Bukayo Saka, you know what? I'm feeling it. I'm gonna shoot it. And Saka said, go for it, man. And just two rockets into top bins. That's why we won, and not through any brilliance from the manager or his assistant. Yeah, genuinely flashes of brilliance, and we don't have also that enough in the team. Victor Gyökeres, what doesn't want to leave? Wants to leave Portugal, so Victor Gyökeres will leave. I think Victor Gyökeres might leave, and it's not going to be Arsenal. That's what it feels like. It's my first time here. I'm enjoying the conversation. Big up, Valeria. Big up. I appreciate that. Big up to you. At the end of the day, this attack, even with Saka, is just not good enough. It's the only place we have huge issues. The biggest issue is attack. 100%. Because if we had more dangerous attack, more creative attack on its own, if we had more technically able players that could create more for themselves, it would also take a load off of our midfield. Because there are two things that are missing: proper attack and creativity from the midfield. There's no argument about that. But that works basically hand in hand. Let's just put it that way, hand in hand. Creative attack and creative midfield should work together in a cohesion. But unfortunately, we don't have that. Everyone knows that if you double down, triple down Bukayo Saka, we are done. Let's just put it that way. We are instantly done because Martinelli and Trossard are not going to do anything. Our number 9 is not going to do anything. Odegaard has nobody to pass to because Saka is covered. Because he predominantly passes to Saka. Or recycles the ball to the back. Or gets shoved off of the ball on a consistent basis. So it's not that difficult to basically stop Arsenal. Our biggest issues for the last year and a half, mid-low blocks. And we still haven't addressed the issue with creativity and proper attack to even finish the chances we get on semi-consistent basis. We barely can finish finish small amount of chances, let's just put it that way. 20 people in here gets 20 likes. Big up to you. Big up, Most Wanted. Big up. Hope, safe swats, butts, and all this. I flew to the game against Villa only to end up losing. What a great experience. Was Big up, Beggy. Was it that game where we lost 2-0 at home in that 22-23 season? Was it that game? Rinse and repeat. Yeah, nothing changes. Genuinely, nothing changes. It's always you go in circles, and it's like dog chasing its own tail. And that's it. 7 years in December. 7? Hold on. 19? It's 6. December 19th to 19 to 20. That is 1. 20 to 21. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. That's 6 years. He's been here 6 years. No? Or am I tripping? Or my maths is off. This club's definition of the definition in insanity is building up hope that this club is and manager will start acting like it's an elite club. Yeah, basically that is the definition. Do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. You can say that about Arteta. You can say that about our attack. You can say that about everything. You can say the same thing about Arsenal fans. Every single year, every single summer, every single season, you want to go for it and you expect something and you get left in tears and disappointment, pain, and embarrassment. Big up, Gavin. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, he's definitely Roberto Martinez 2.0. 100%. Fluminense 2-0 up. We are already slowed. Okay, 1-0 up then. Tickets were as low as $6 to see this match, and then it's less than 50 minutes. Okay, I think you have some internal discussions. Let's just put it that way. Crazy discussions. Let me rephrase that he doesn't get any credit with me. Okay, I get it. Now I get it. Hendon also is not giving any credit. And I kind of can see it at the same time, yeah. What else is here? AJ means he starts his 7th year on December 19th. Yeah, he starts his 7th year on December 19th. Which means by the end of the season, he will be in charge in 6.5 years. 6.5 years. Yeah. 6.5 years. Holy crap. Seriously, holy crap. What else can you say about that? Holy moly. We are over halfway through Wenger's infamous 9-year trophy drought, and nobody gives a damn. How is that possible? How has this club and this fan base basically fallen so low that they dismiss trophies? They don't want trophies anymore. Like, how has this happened? You have people on AFTV and other YouTube channels saying, oh, FA Cup is below Arsenal. Carabao Cup is below Arsenal. How can these cups be below anyone? If Arsenal have 14 FA Cups, 14! We are the record holders at the moment. United are 1 away, to be honest. It's not that far off. Like, it's actually insane. Nobody seems to care. Nobody genuinely seems to care. And that's the nuts part. That is the nuts part. Basically, Wenger, everyone was punching each other up in the stadium, in the stands, in the toilets, outside Emirates. Because Wenger didn't get top 4 consistently enough. Everyone was demanding some bigger trophies than only FA Cups. Now, 5 years without trophies, everyone's happy. How does that make any sense? Where does that make any sense? Like, I cannot compute this situation regarding Arsenal fans. They love the false manufactured PR and good vibes so much they'd rather have bare minimum over trophies. Yeah, exactly. Even under Arsene Wenger, right? The board, the team, the club did bare minimum to secure top 4. And despite all that, Wenger managed to win FA Cups, to get to finals and everything. And now Arteta has been given basically keys to Shangri-La, to the paradise. He's been given money, endless chunks, you could argue, for Arsenal terms, to many ways, shapes, and forms, and he has done nothing with it. 100% Hendo, can't wait to see someone. Not trophies, yeah. It's all about vibes, good jawlines, and great hairlines. Exactly. More merch than Paris Fashion Week. Arsenal Fashion Club. That's what we are these days. Mall, the merch, and everything. It's actually kind of insane. Fresh haircut, by the way. Big up. Yeah. Did it myself. I did it myself. Cut my own hair. Speaking of Arsenal and releasing merch, by the way, has anyone seen this? Has anyone seen this? Arsenal tweeted today. Serving supporters made for match days. We are thrilled. Arsenal are thrilled to announce Asahi Super Dry as our official beer partner. Drink responsibly. Only thing that's dry at Arsenal is the attack. Let's be real. Only thing that's dry at Arsenal is the attack. Nothing else. Can Asahi play striker? Can he play left wing? Can he be the new manager? Can Asahi do that? Asahi super dry. New manager at Arsenal. New way to flush away the pain when Arsenal do nothing. We have released more merch and signed more fashion deals, more brand deals than we have made signings. Like, how does that make any sense at this club as well? How does that make any sense? Let's see those vibes when Arsenal manage only 2 points out of first 6 matches. The vibes will be at 2 points out of first 6 matches. Hold on. We play United away, then we play Leeds at home, then we play I want to say Man City or Liverpool. Something like that we play at Emirates. Oh no, Liverpool at Anfield. Liverpool at Anfield. I think. I'm just going on top of my head. We have the game against Nottingham Forest. We have the game against Man City and Newcastle, something like that. Like, those games will be nuts. Jesus Christ. No, it's beer. Literally, it is beer. Seriously, beer. Arsenal have signed super dry Asahi beer. It's a new beer partner for Arsenal. Seriously. This is what Arsenal are doing these days. They are not signing strikers. They are not signing players. They are signing deals to get everyone drunk so the pain after we lose a game doesn't hurt so much. Literally doesn't hurt so much. Joe with Leeds and Forest at Emirates. Dude, if that happens, I will lose my head. Seriously, I will lose my mind if it comes to life. If that happens. The starting schedule is rough. I'm not gonna lie, it is rough. But people should be embracing it. Let's be real. Either way, you have to play each team twice. No matter when. Let's not kid ourselves. We either win or you lose. We need to make t-shirts. Of what? With what? But why is it rough? We have super duper Mick. Exactly. Why top Gunners are complaining about referees, about PGMOL, about FA, that the schedule is rigged. It's too hard. It's too tough. It's too shocking that Arsenal have second toughest start of the Premier League. If we have super duper Mick, he can do no wrong. He knows exactly what we need. Why they're complaining then? Exactly what we need. He knows exactly what we need. Okay. Anyone ready for some more pain and excitement at the same time? I'm not gonna super shit Arteta. He doesn't know what we need. Hundreds of keepers and left backs for calling attack. Arsenal balls, no trophy. Yeah, it is like that. Anyways, anyone want to see something cool? Something our men's team has never seen in their lives? Anyone ready for that? Big up. When Wenger was in charge, Emirates was a fortress. Teams come to the Emirates now expecting at least a point. Yeah, nobody's scared of us. Let's be real. Arsenal are scary, scintillating, and dangerous. Everyone's afraid to come to the Emirates. Nobody's afraid. Only living thing afraid at the Emirates most likely is Win the Dog when Pyro goes off before the game. That's about it. But yeah, anyways, something positive. Obviously, it's not about men's team because, let's be real, we have to show something positive. New addition to Arsenal's women's kit. Do you know what that second star means? What those stars mean above the badge? Seriously, we can only dream as the men's team to see something like that. Serious talk. Our women's team has won more Champions Leagues than we have been to finals in Champions League. We've been to semi-final 3 times. We've been to final once. Our women's team has won it twice. Make it make sense. Make it make bloody sense. How people just don't get it. How people don't get it. Winning breeds more winning. Trophies breed more trophies. Like, what the hell is this? More pain, yeah. Oh dear, they're trolling the men's team with that. Well, it's not trolling. Let's be real. UEFA Champions League winners get a star above their name. It's gold by default at the end of the day. Our women's team can only just well, that women's team has heart. Even on paper, team should beat them, but they have heart for the game. Exactly. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that we are playing Lyon in semifinals, I thought, damn, that is gonna be rough because Lyon is arguably top 3 team in the world, if not second best team in women's football in the world. And we somehow did it. We humiliated them at their ground, by the way. Then you go to the finals and you see you play Barcelona, the best women's football team in the world by a mile. And we nullified them. We absolutely shut them down. We gave them all the possession they want and need. They played straight in our hands, one counter, 1-0, and we won the Champions League. We beat the odds three times in a row. We beat Real Madrid. We should have beaten Real Madrid, right? But we beat Lyon. We beat Barcelona in the final. Let's be real. How many people gave us a chance against Barcelona? How many people gave us a chance against Lyon even? It wasn't a lot. Let's be real. It wasn't a lot. The ever elusive golden star. It's like unicorn at this point, basically. Yeah, it is like a unicorn for the men's team. Big up at Jerry. Big up at Jerry. Oh, you have changed your message. United should sign Jack Grealish. Well, good luck with that. To be honest, he would cook under him, definitely. He would cook under Howe. Arsenal women did the impossible. To some extent, yeah. They did the impossible. They went through the hardest side, you could argue, even. Real Madrid, Lyon, and then PSG, and then Barcelona. Obviously, PSG got knocked out. But yeah, overall, yeah, it was a rough one. Let's be real. But they did it. They did it. They went through the fight and they won it. They won the war, arguably. They won the war. Arsenal, meanwhile, well, if you want to see what Arsenal are doing these days, this is Arsenal. This is what Arsenal are doing these days. This is Arsenal. Arsenal ladies have proper manager. She did it in 6 months and only... Exactly. They signed Chloe Kelly on loan back from Man City. 6 months. Champions League. Didn't take processes, 65 phases, lemon juice, light bulbs, blasting You Never Walk Alone on Barca, Barca, Barca on the speakers and everything. Didn't need none of that. Apparently, I guess the ball was the right pressure. There was no rain. The grass was cut ideally perfectly for their team, and it worked. But yeah, this is Arsenal right now. This is what every Arsenal fan is thinking about Arsenal. Anyways, one more thing I want to show you, and I'm gonna go. One more thing. One more thing. Their pockets were not big. They were not Space Jam, basically. Our men's team have the time placed like they've been Space Jammed. That's what it feels like. If you have seen Space Jam with Michael Jordan and everything, legendary. But overall, yeah, our men's team feels like they have been Space Jammed. Our women's team, on the other hand, they beat the odds. They beat Lyon, top 3 team in the world, women's team, and they beat the best team in the women's football, Barcelona. Didn't give them a chance. Like, come on, what are we doing here? Our women's team, again, I reiterate this. Our women's team has 2 Champions League wins, 2 stars above their badge. Our men's team has been only once to the final and only 3 times to semi-final. Like, come on. Half a year in charge. First was interim coach, wins a trophy. No phases, no time, no nothing. Our men's team shitting their pants left, right, and center. Big up Eros, big up Ariam, big up Kyle Walsh Gunner, big up the Volcano, big up. Hope you're doing well today, my guy. Eros, if you haven't already, drop the link in the chat and everything. That's a bad picture. Big up, big up, big up. Hope you're doing well today, Kyle. Hope you're doing well today. Anyways, I want to show you this because this is actually, I'm not gonna lie, semi-pathetic. Semi-pathetic. Every Premier League's club record sale. Record sales for every Premier League club currently in the Premier League. Who is ready to see where does Arsenal rank into this? Let's look at this, right? Let's look at this. Arsenal, Oxlade-Chamberlain to Liverpool, £35 million. Rafinha to Barcelona from Leeds, £55 million. Villa, Grealish, $100 million for Jack Grealish got. Liverpool sold Coutinho for $142 million. They bought him for like $12 million or something like that from Inter Milan, and they flipped him for 12 times the profit. 12 times the profit, you know. Anyways, Bournemouth sold Solanke for 65. Atletico Madrid sold almost for 81 Julian Alvarez. Ivan Toney for 33.6 million went to Al Ahly. Market opportunity. Here was our striker to buy instead of goddamn fucking Merino, you know. Merino, 38 million. Ivan Toney, 33.6 million to Al Ahly. You want to tell me we could not have paid that? You want to tell me we could not do it? Or does this manager's on purpose, decided not to buy a striker? He's allergic to strikers. He's allergic to attackers. Just think about it. What attackers has Mikel Arteta signed since he's been at Arsenal? He has signed Willian, Trossard, Jesus, Marquinhos. Yes, Marquinhos. You heard me right. And there is another one. Sterling. Fucking hell. And well, technically Kai Havertz, but he got brought in as a midfielder. So you kind of cannot count him for the forward role. Those are the attackers he has signed. Isn't that pathetic? Isn't that pathetic? Big up Hyper Protagonist. Hope you're doing well. Anyways, let's move on. Cristiano Ronaldo to Madrid, 80 million. Andy Carroll and Elliot Anderson to Nottingham Forest, 35 million. That is Newcastle's record sale. Moise Caicedo, 115. Brennan Johnson, 45. Pickford, 30. Hazard for 89. Wilson Odobert. Oh, remember him? 25 million. Palace sold Visaka for 50. Kane for 85. Rice for 105. Arsenal really good participating in this one. Lukaku, 75. Mitrovic, 45. And Mateusz Cunha, 63. Now, if you had to take a wild guess, Arsenal are joined 15th highest sale in the league. 15th. 15th in the league of the highest sale. And Arsenal have never been relegated from Premier League. We have been there since the beginning of the time, pretty much what it feels like. And we are still only 15th in the league of selling the players. 35 million is our record sale as the club. We are on the same level pretty much as Newcastle and Brentford. Sunderland is only 5 million off, 10 million ahead of Burnley. Meanwhile, other teams sell players like there is no tomorrow. Like, what are we? Oxlade-Chamberlain, it was 8 years ago, still is our record sale. Like, what? What? Can't buy and sell for shit. Terrible business. Exactly. And then you look at it. How many players? When Edu, remember Edu when said in an interview said, Arsenal don't want to let players go for free. They don't want them allow them to run down their contracts. They don't want to allow them to go into last 2 years of their contract so they don't have the bargaining power, right? What we have seen since then. Pepe leaves for free, we pay him to F off. Aubameyang goes for free. Cedric Suarez goes for free. Last 2 years of almost every single deal, we let go almost everyone for free. We cannot sell for shit. That has been our business. And then if you add on top of that, which is my biggest point whenever I speak about these things, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, right? If you look at Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, right? You want to see something? You want to know something? You want to know something? You want to know something? And on all this crap, right? Look at this. I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'm going to share the tab. Here it is. I'm going to zoom in a bit more, right? And zoom in a bit more. I can zoom in one more, I think. Here it is. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, right? Started here, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Saint-Étienne got 1.8 million. AC Milan sold him to Saint-Étienne for 1.8 million. So, right? Then Saint-Étienne sold him for 13 million. 13 million to Borussia Dortmund. Then Borussia Dortmund sold him for 63.75 million to Arsenal, of course. Arsenal let him go for free, and then he joins Barcelona, and Barcelona still make 12 million on him. He leaves Chelsea, he goes to Marseille. Marseille even made 9 million on him. In which goddamn world Arsenal were pretty much the only team that got finessed in this deal? Every single team made some money on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, whilst Arsenal made, well, air on it. Well, nothing. Only losses. 70 million, 60 million signing, let go for free. Cut the ties, cut the contract, nobody cares, and he's gone. This is the business Arsenal do. We pay off Willian to leave. We pay off Pepe to leave. We pay off Aubameyang to leave. We just waste money. We waste money. Hopefully Saudis can see something special in Havertz and buy him for 65 million. Wouldn't be nice. That would be phenomenal. If tomorrow Saudis came in 50, 55 even million offer for Kai Havertz, I would take it in a heartbeat. Do you think Arsenal would take that deal in a heartbeat if 55 million were on the table for Kai Havertz? Do you think Arsenal would do it? Footy is ruthless, and Arsenal nice guys always falling back of the line. Yeah, you know that saying, nice guys always finish first, right? They finish first, right? They always win. No, they don't. They lose. They become last. Well, in Arsenal's case, they become second. Let's just put it that way. Big up, Kyle. If you're still here, big up. Hope you're doing well. Go subscribe to Kyle Walsh Gunner. Saudis ain't stupid. They won't go for donkey kind, not at that kind of money. We can only dream. We always get finessed and look foolish. We always do that. We always do that. Because it pretty much shows that our club has no pull. Because if we had any pull, we actually wouldn't need to overpay. Overpay for player and overpay for wages. Because it's not a coincidence. And on what merits, for example, Zinchenko goes from 20 grand at City to 150 at Arsenal. Jesus goes from 90 to 265 at Arsenal. Kivior goes from 2 grand at Spezia to 58 at Arsenal. Merino goes from 50 to 130. Calafiori from 12 to 120. In which universe does that happen? If you don't have a pool as a team, you overpay. And Arsenal have mastered that to maximum extent by the looks of things. And of all the things to master, unfortunately, Arsenal have mastered one of the worst things you can do in transfer market. Send Kai to this. Are you willing to pay? It's coming out of your pocket, Eros. Arsenal are like a kid in a candy shop with a pocket full of money and no adult supervision. Yeah, basically. We want this, we want that, I want this, I want that. We overpay, we don't care how much it costs and everything. And then at the end of the day, you have spent it. You have eaten the candy. You wake up a few hours later after stomachache because you have eaten so much candy and sugar and everything. You wake up. Where's all my money gone? I bought nothing. Where is all my money? And then you remember you have wasted it on useless things. You have pissed it down the wind. See us coming from a mile away. Berta has his work cut out for himself. 100%. 100%. And I'm going to say this. I said this yesterday as well. I'm going to say this right now as well. I don't know that. I think the best Andrea Berta we will see after Mikel Arteta goes. Because the way we are doing business, the players we are getting, it still looks like Mikel Arteta still gets the final say. He's ruling with iron fist, and if he wants the players, he gets them for him. And I still strongly believe that until Mikel Arteta goes, Andrea Berta helps Kroenkes and the board to pick out the next manager. We won't see the best of Andrea Berta. And the worst part is, Top Gunners, when we're going to fail next season, most likely, they're going to use Andrea Berta as an excuse of Mikel Arteta's shortcomings once again. They're going to forget the fact that Mikel Arteta pushed for Norgard. He pushed for Calafiori. He pushed for Merino. Because we all remember last year, all the reports about fights in hierarchy, arguments in hierarchy, that Calafiori is not the one with injuries. Merino is not the one. He won't do the job. And Mikel Arteta said, I want that player, and they got him. Got them for him. They will use Andrea Berta as a scapegoat. And that is the sad part. They love Mikel Arteta more than they love this club at the end of the day. It's not coming out of my pocket. I haven't been to a DC United game since 2002. Fake fan. Plastic fan. You don't like what you see, you can F off down to SoFi Stadium. RFK Stadium. Anyways, guys, I think on that note, I think I'm going to end today's stream. If you haven't already, do me a favor, like the stream, subscribe if you're new around here. Hope you enjoyed today's chat, today's venting again. Tomorrow is July 1st. Everyone says Arsenal are going to do massive business starting July 1st. So let's see what's going to happen. Because now officially, starting tomorrow, we will be 1 month into transfer window. And then for anyone who wants to scream, oh, but the transfer window was closed for a few days. It wasn't. You could still do the business, you just could not register the players. It was said, it was announced, and it's official. So the transfer window was open for a month, and we have, well, I'm not gonna lie, nothing much to show for it, to say the least. July 1st, let's see what happens. Yeah, maybe we're gonna unleash finally the war chest from 2011. I've been waiting for that war chest since 2011 when it first time got announced. So maybe now we're going to see it. Big up, Most Wanted. Have a good night to you as well. Take care. I'll catch you all on another show or tomorrow. Big up to you all. Thank you for dropping by. Do me a favor. Like, subscribe, share it around. Leave your comments afterwards or Playback Gang and all that stuff. Go check out my YouTube short, my TikTok, Mr. Robo19 TV there as well. Have a nice evening. Stay safe. And let's see what July 1st brings tomorrow. Peace.